What up, YouTube? It's Kurt here. Today we're going to talk about the ban list and what exactly Konami is doing. All right, so first we're going to just take a look at what happened, and then we're going to kind of analyze that. And I do think overall I want to say positively that there are some very good things on this ban list. I don't think they got everything right. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. It's just like it's hard for it's a high expectation to have a perfect ban list, but at least it's better than it has been in the past. All right, we'll get to what's new. All right, Summon Sork. Yeah, good hit, good hit because it just, for the most part, it can help some decks, some like lesser decks of lesser viability make some combos in some cases, but for the most part, it was just used in degenerate decks. It's a good hit. I didn't expect this one, but it's a good hit. Dark Matter Dragon. Yes, this was one of the most necessary hits ever, and just so much degeneracy was used with this. Honestly, the people that used this combo, like um, I just don't understand how sadistic people must be to play combos that just are designed to not let your opponent play. Like, how do you feel good about yourself doing that? But anyway, all right, so yeah, that's new. That was completely necessary. You can still do some combos that still get into degenerate plays, like putting Goliath on the board, but they're not as easy or degenerate as simply the Dark Matter Dragon method. All right, rank of Magic Launch. I think a lot of people seen this coming. Nobody can make Azathoth anymore. Even though Azathoth, I don't think Azathoth was quite as bad as like the Goliath combo, because you could still like Twin Twister and Draw Phase. You could still Kaiju it. If of course, I think you could still use Pankratops against it. Those were very good options, but yeah, it's still something that you shouldn't rely purely on RNG to kind of yeah. You shouldn't have to rely on that to play the game. Just having good RNG. So there's that. All right, Lady Debug, Light Slap to Salamangreat. I didn't think they'd hit Lady Debug. I think Lady Debug was actually the worst card, in Salamangrates. I mean, it was the worst monster because if you put Lady Debug on the board and it got Ashed or Veilered, well, that kind of really messed up your combos. And yeah, it is a +1. I mean, that's always nice, but as far as its overall viability, it was just, I thought, in my opinion, it was too weak to hand traps. But it's a light slap on the wrist. I always played the Flame Buffalo build. That's my preferred build, but I guess I mean, it's kind of cool that that's on there. Phantom Sky Blaster. Good job at least limiting this. I mean, the card, any card that gets the generic token generation that Phantom Sky Blaster does, every card that pretty much gets the power that this thing has is already banned. They probably should have just banned it to begin with, but people are going to abuse it. I think it has a ban coming in this future. Kagari. I wasn't sure if Kagari would actually go to 1, but Kagari is, yeah, this, I think Sky Striker will still top events. It won't, of course, it won't be quite as good as it was before. It can't just snowball like it did before, but it is nice to see this. I think this is kind of the swan song for Sky Striker. It's just been good for such a long time that yeah, it's good that your opponent can't go like +7 2 turns in a row. That's kind of necessary. That was the main thing that was unfair about Sky Striker, is just the regeneration of it. And obviously Widow Anchor is just a really powerful card, but at least now it can't regenerate. And then we have, this is freaking amazing. All right, so Super Poly has such a niche. It's Super Poly only works against a select few decks. It's just so necessary. It's a hit against Salamangreat, and it's a hit against Danger Thunder. Danger Thunder right now, it's, even with these hits, it's still kind of degenerate. And well, with it at 2, it's going to be harder to make their plays. You're going to get your negations, and yeah, this is a great way to break your opponent's board. And having it at 2 copies, I think it was just completely necessary, because like what decks that aren't necessarily super powerful like Salamangreat and Meta or Danger Thunder can really be weak to it. So it's good to have something that's anti-meta going on there. All right, so I think these are all good hits, and that's something to be happy about. We'll get to the bad part now, but the bad part is like, I think a lot of people were expecting Skull Dread to be on this list, and it's honestly really disappointing that it's not. Something that gives just such a generic advantage to link spamming and summon spamming, and gives you a free extra summon and gives you draw four cycling of your deck. That's I think that is one of the biggest mistakes that Konami probably did. Of course, the game is still very playable. They hit some things, and at least, but like if they wanted, they definitely went after combo decks. The biggest combo card is probably Skull Dread, and that's one of the things that enables these 20-minute turns that people are currently doing in this format. And I just do not understand why they would just leave that card untouched. It does not make any sense to me whatsoever. So yes, I'm going to be a little butthurt about that. I'm going to complain about that a little bit, but that's not to say I'm unhappy. The game is still very fun, still very playable, and I hope that I hope I hope we get still get good ban lists in the future. So overall, yeah, at least we got what we got. So you can, I think this is a good boost for other rogue strategies, and that's the thing I'm a fan of. And diversity is always a good thing. So that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about what was missed or what was very good and you appreciate about this. So peace.